I hope, it showed some very interactive content. I hope that helps. That's really good. And then you can stream podcasts. Like I know NBC offers all of their shows as a podcast. You could stream that video on the go. I think you'll do what you want to do with this. This is something for you to figure out. The only reason I'm going to get one is I've been wanting a UMPC for a long time, and I've always wanted mobile data, and this is frankly cheap and no contract. Lizard, you have been a silent lamb the whole time. Would you like to comment on all this?
Okay, the iMaxi Pad is very pretty and it is nice, but in my opinion, it's just a giant iPod Touch with...
Yeah, I kind of agree. What separates this from the iPod Touch, besides the fact that you can read books and stuff like that on it?
Well, the difference between the iPod Touch would immediately be the size and the 3G radio. And the difference with the screen size is you just have more capabilities with a bigger device. Physically, it pretty much is a giant iPod Touch. It has more RAM and a faster processor, so it's capable of doing more computing, but it's running the same operating system pretty much.
It's still a little
people want to do with its form factor is what will define its sales.
It's still a little disappointing not to have multitasking.
I do agree. I think that is.
I thought it was already broken or whatever.
Well,
what's it called?
Jailbroken. That's with iPhone. Here's the deal. Like I said, we get back to that chip. Here's the thing. Apple made it. It's fast. But the only reason they did that is it's only designed to run code written by Apple. So it's going to take much longer to break into this. If they could have used ARM processor, a Snapdragon processor, even an Atom processor, and that would have had the same power. They built their own so they could control it. It's harder to hack into this, and they did the same thing with the iPhone 3GS. They kind of in the middle last year they changed the model just a bit. The consumer didn't know, but now if you jailbreak it, if you turn it off, you have to hook it up to your computer to turn it back on. It's just going to have limitations when jailbreaking. Apple does not want you to break it to your own device. They want to tell you what to do, and they want you to work your device within their bounds. Yes.
Well, I think, it probably would have helped sales a little bit better if they allowed jailbreaking because, yes, you have the people that are okay with it the way it is now, but there are those who, can't wait to, do more than one thing at some time. And adding the ability to jailbreak it, for certain people, I know there's I believe it's called Black Rain. Of course, that's what my relative uses. He jailbroke his iPod Touch. And, I just think it would increase their sales tremendously if they allowed jailbreaking for their iPad.
Well, if they had it as an open platform.
Yes.
Then they would just be open source like Google's Android is. And Google's Android is having some problems, but, I think it's a very good operating system that is going to grow substantially. But I think some people would argue it would grow better if they had open source. I don't really have an opinion on that because I see both sides. Yes, people want their devices to be open, but they also want to be simple, intuitive, and not have problems. One benefit when you buy with Apple is they have so much control, less problems will happen because it's so controlling that they stop you from doing stupid things. But Apple's not going to do anything open. What they're doing is they're accepting more broad applications. Originally, they would not accept an application if it had the word sex in it. Now the number one downloaded application, to my dismay, is Boob Party. That's kind of sad, but yeah, it is. And they're also allowing more rich devices, rich bandwidth applications, on the platforms over 3G. That's just how they're going to be more open. Open source, not going to happen from Apple. The only thing that's open source is OS X to an extent, and they still want to control that. But, they stop themselves. And
before you go on, I'm kind of done. So if Lizard doesn't have any questions, I think we should move on.
We only have 55 seconds left on this segment, yo. Lizard, would you like to put closing remarks? You have 45 seconds.
Well, I can see how you would want this device, I guess, if you're a hardcore fan.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to attract any new customers.
Interesting. I agree with Lizard. I think this first generation will only be Apple fans. I think the second generation will see like the iPhone did. More people will adopt it. By third generation, it becomes pretty mainstream. I think they will. My prediction was, as I wrote my blog on johnphilipblack.com, you can find that by going to wetalktech.net, was that by quarter 4, 2011, the price will drop to $350. I do not see it being anything less, unless some kind of carrier subsidizes it. But that would probably be with Verizon, and that probably won't be to 2011, 2012. Okay, we're out of time. Lizard, your story. Get excited.